Have you ever tried dumplings? We won't be able to put dumplings out of the food we eat a lot. There are various kinds of taste of dumplings by region, and there are lots of dumplings in the world. Usually, in the old time, we ate it during holidays, but nowadays there are frozen dumplings, so we can eat anytime we want. Now, I will explain more specifically about dumplings' history. Dumplings are eaten in many countries, so each country has a history. First of all, I will introduce about the history of Chinese dumplings. During the Three Kingdoms period in China, Zhu Xiliang heard shocking words from locals when he returns after defeating Nanman tribes. When he arrived at the river called Nosu, the locals said that offering 49 human heads to the river would reduce the amount of wind. He couldn't have done that by killing a real person, so he made 49 dolls and offered them. And the food dumpling is originated by this legend. However, many scholars claim that they have only called it dumpling since then, and that there must have been a food called dumpling before. Since then, man-headed dumplings have been handed down to the nurse, becoming one of the most popular foods in China today. And they have been introduced to Korea and Japan, making it a deliciously enjoyed by all three countries. Then, Korean dumpling is being estimated that it was flew by China during Goryeo dynasty. Also, one of Goryeo's poems and songs, called Sanghwajeom, is the song about the happening occurred in the dumpling store. People in Pyeongwon-do and Hwanghae-do usually ate it because wheat were grown there. So, it's the reason why the word dumpling feels as the northern food. In addition, there are similar dishes in the Arab, Indian, and Western countries too. Among the dishes directly affected by Chinese dumplings are manti in Uzbekistan, mantis in Turkey, and ravioli, which is one of the Italian pastas affected by mantis. In Poland and Russia, there is also a dish similar to dumplings called pelmeni and pierogi. They are influenced by Mongolia after the 13th century.
Now that we have explained to you about the history of dumpling or mandu, I will now show you how to actually make some mandu. So if you take a look at the ingredients, this is crushed tofu. These are radish leaves, which are first dried, then boiled, then chopped finely like so. Ground pork, 2 eggs, some chopped garlic, red pepper powder, ground wild sesame, chopped green onion, some wild sesame oil, and soy sauce, which can also be replaced with salt. This recipe was made by famous Korean chef Baek Jong-won, and these radish leaves can actually be replaced with Chinese cabbages or some bean sprouts. So now we will be mixing the ingredients all together. There isn't a specific order to this. You can just then you mix this thoroughly, like so. So you mix this thoroughly like so. all the ingredients are mixed like this, then you grab some dumpling skin, and you grab your spoon, and then you take a generous amount and put it on the dumpling. And then you get some water, which is used to put the dumpling together, like this, and then you fold it, and the water will hold the dumpling together, like so. And then there are actually two ways to make a dumpling, and the first is to kind of do this, but I'm not really good at it, so I'll show you the second way, which is to put it on the edges, just these two parts, and then just kind of fold it together to make a round shape. And if you do the first way well, you can try this shape, and once you do that, you put it in a steamer and steam it for about 20 minutes, and it will end up looking like this. So I showed you how to make mandu, and now we will be explaining about other things about dumplings. Thank you.
Let's take a look at various Korean dumplings. The characteristic of Korean dumplings is that they are full and you can feel the flavor of the ingredients. They make dumplings for holidays or family events. It is natural on New Year's Day, and they were a main character in the table setting at Chuseok or feasts. Tofu, vermicelli, and kimchi are often used as ingredients. Korean dumplings have few dumpling skin shapes and thickness, but instead, the type of dumplings depends on the ingredients. Mee dumplings. The shape is like sea cucumbers, so it is called mee dumpling, the old word for sea cucumbers. Steamed dumplings made of beef, shiitake, and cucumbers made with a lot of wrinkles like sea cucumbers were eaten in the summer at the palace. Pyeongsu. The place where dumplings originated is Kaesong. Pyeongsu is also called Kaesong dumplings and features a square shape and contains pheasant meat. One of the characteristics of Korean dumpling culture is the use of pheasants. Especially in Gangwon-do and Chungcheongbuk-do, pheasant dumplings, which are made by grinding whole pheasants caught in winter in a millstone, was a delicacy. Gullim dumpling, a local food in Pyongan Island, made with the wisdom of our ancestors who were in a shortage of pulao sakbi. It is characterized by a clear view of the inside without dumpling skin. Donga dumplings. Thinly sliced donga lightly boiled in boiling water, then add dumplings and make it like songpyeon covered with mung bean, stirred and steamed in a steamer. Potato dumplings. These dumplings are popular in Gangwon-do. These dumplings are made with pork, shiitake mushrooms, carrots, onions, leeks. Added to the skin of the dumplings made with potato starch. Osek dumplings. This is the representative food of Chungcheong-do with 5 different colors. Make dumpling skin yellow with gardenia, pink with branch, brown with a corn, and green with leek. Flat dumpling. This is the representative dumpling of Daegu, Gyeongsang Province. Flat-shaped dumpling stuffed with finely chopped vermicelli and leek and cooked as if fried in oil. It is eaten wrapped in jolmyeon or cabbage. Buckwheat dumplings. These are dumplings from Jeju Island. Make dumpling skin with buckwheat and stir-fry radish and shiitake to fill the dumplings. Vegan dumplings. It's a representative dumpling of Busan, Gyeongsang Province. It is a dish that is served with dumplings and seasoned vegetables. Kimchi dumplings. Dumplings made with finely chopped kimchi and various vegetables. In the southern regions, cabbage kimchi is put with the seasoning on it, while in the central and northern regions, kimchi is washed and put in order to remove the thickness of the red pepper powder. Korea today, in addition to traditional dumplings, There are also many types of dumplings created in the modern era. In these days, alone and home meals are popular. Modern people prepare dumplings as simple, nutritious, and tasty foods because of their busy and time-critical routine. Recently, various dumplings are being sold as they're busy and a simple and quick eat frozen food to suit the lifestyle of modern people. In recent years, most of the restaurant industry uses frozen foods rather than handmade dumplings. This is because more and more consumers are looking for cheap and tasty frozen foods after the economic crisis. Korea's frozen dumplings are very popular in many countries around the world. In the US and Russia, dumplings produced in Korea account for the majority. Dumplings filled with the dumpling skin are filled with a warm heart for the health and well-being of the eaters. We hope that dumplings look like lucky bags will be filled with the delicious ingredients and blessings to comfort us and spread our energy to the world.
There are various kinds of dumplings in other worlds, and let me introduce some dumplings in other countries. Some people misunderstand that dumpling is the food only in Asia. However, dumplings is also in India, Italy, and Spain. First, I will introduce India-style dumpling. We call this samosa. It's shaped like triangle and they fry this. They use many kinds of spices, so it is more pungent than other dumplings. Samosa are Indian dumplings that have a crispy, flaky, pastry-like shell but are filled with spiced potatoes and peas, lentils, ground meat, or onions. There are some dumplings in Japan. We called gyoza. These are also fried as well as India. Pan-fried dumplings known as gyoza are the Japanese version of postickers. They are stuffed with pork, cabbage, onion, and carrots, all of which wrapped in a thin brown dough. I also have eaten this. It tastes similar with our dumplings, but it's different by spices. In Germany, they have Knödel. It is traditional German dumplings. These aren't filled with anything, but they add some German meat. For example, in Schnitzel. In America, there are some apple dumplings. Honestly, I was surprised when I listened this name of dumplings, because I've been eating like kimchi dumplings of meat. However, these dumplings are filled with apple. They eat this for dessert. Also, they topping these dumplings off with some vanilla ice cream as a must. If I choose what I want to eat, I will choose bawang. It is Taiwan's food. Bawang are sold at street markets all over the world. I have visited Taiwan, but I've never seen this kind of food. The dough made from cornstarch, sweet potato starch, and rice flour is filled with pork, bamboo shoots, and mushrooms, then steamed and deep fried. I think this tastes really good, and I can also experience about Thai spices. Lastly, I want to introduce our traditional dumplings, mandu. These have lots of kinds of taste. As well, she talked about it before. This is a side dish made of fermented seasoned cabbage. Is a Korean favorite. So much so that mandu, Korean dumplings are filled with it. Mandu are on one of the only Asian dumplings that have a circular shape. Thank you.